Hey man, how's it going?
It's going good, man.
You still celebrating your victory?
Nah, man, that was done Saturday night.
Have you went back to the gym and started training yet?
Yeah, I usually come in, just do what I can. Usually take the live rounds off, and then go from there.
Yeah. Well, you're coming off a submission victory over Jordan Espinosa. What was the game plan going in?
Honestly, was to stand and kind of obviously chop his leg and get him tired, and then um, yeah, go from there.
Did you plan on taking him down at any point?
I think I'm more like kind of like just go with the flow. If it came, it came. If it, kind of thing. So it was just more like he literally just ended up in my arms. So like, oh, okay, I'll go for a takedown.
Yeah. Did you feel him go unconscious whenever he did?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
long until
I had the choke and I felt him go limp, and I was like, ah, he's out. I told the ref.
the ref actually like stopped it from when he went unconscious?
It was pretty fast. It wasn't nothing. It was nothing like crazy long. Like I was like, ah, he's out, and I let go.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about the judges? Do you feel like judges should get or have more criteria to become judges?
Yeah, man. I feel like some judges, don't know what they're looking at. Some do, it's a hit or miss, and they don't understand. Like if they make a bad decision, it affects how we get paid. Because I mean, I'm not saying everybody they're always wrong. I'm saying sometimes, like I said, like 45% of the time they're wrong on decisions. And I
Yeah.
feel that affects all fighters from the UFC to Bellator to One to anything financially. It's from getting one check, getting half your money, getting your full pay. So I
Yeah.
think they definitely need to do something about that.
And how do you feel about the UFC's ranking system? Do you feel like it's pretty like accurate, or do you feel like they hit and miss sometimes?
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't pay attention to the rankings too much. Um, it's just a bunch of nerds behind the computer that like analyze everything. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't think people should really look on the rankings because I've seen people not be ranked and then all of a sudden get title shots, and you know,
Yeah.
good for the people getting the title shots that aren't ranked or jumping the line. That's cool for them. So I just feel like rankings kind of just put a number by you. Uh, some of the people that are doing it don't know the sport and don't know anything. They just take things off the numbers, and that doesn't always work.
Yeah. You called out Askarov after your fight. What makes you interested in that fight?
Um, Jesse's ranked above me, and that's honestly I just kind of looked at the guys that just fought, kind of timetable, kind of figure out who's up there. It wouldn't make sense for me to call out someone like ranked top two, top three. Obviously, I'm low. I was low in the rankings, so. Um, but to me, it doesn't really matter who they give me. It can come. It can be a ranked guy, non ranked guy. To me, it just all depends. The time they give me short notice fight or not. I say over and over again, I don't get paid to stay on the couch. So, ranked guy, not ranked guy, doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to fight whenever.
Yeah. Do you feel like Henry actually did save the flyweight division in the UFC,
Um,
or do you feel like
uh,
it would still be around with or without him?
it's hard to say, because yeah, he did beat TJ, but then he also went up a weight class as well, and he stayed there. So who knows? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. If he did, cool. I'm grateful for that. If not, I feel like my job was safe at going up to 35s.
Yeah. Who do you have in the upcoming flyweight championship fight?
Um, it's kind of hard to say. Like if Benavidez takes him down, I think it'll be an easier fight. If not, I got Figueroa winning on his feet. That guy hits hard, but Benavidez can take him down. That's Figueroa's problem.
Yeah. You're an all-American wrestler in college. What made you like transition into mixed martial arts?
Yeah, I wrestled in college a little bit. Like California is weird, so like we're JUCO, but we don't compete against any other state. Like we're like if you're in Oregon or something, you compete against all the junior colleges throughout the U.S. So like I'm an All-American, but I'm a California All-American. People think like, oh, you're an All-American. I was like, nah, like just in California, but just always wanted to try it. I wanted to try it one time. I didn't want to be old and be like, oh, I could have done that. So I just tried it, and now I'm here.
Yeah, you've been fighting at a pro level at least since 2011. Do you feel like, and you fought some really tough dudes. Who do you feel like has been your toughest opponent so far?
And there's a lot of them, but obviously I'll have to say the guy Benavidez probably the tougher guy, even though I feel like I'm better than him. Um, I would say because he's the guy I've lost to recently, so I would say him.
Yeah. If you do get the matchup with Askar and you're victorious, would you be expecting a title shot next, or do you feel like maybe another fight or two after that?
I don't know, man. With the division being so crazy, 1 or 2 fights get you a title shot. So I'm just worried about winning, not really worried about the title shot. I keep doing my job, eventually will come.
Yep. What do you feel like your biggest strengths are? Because you got a lot of submission and a lot of knockout wins.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm well-rounded everywhere. Like, it's kind of hard to say. Obviously, my wrestling is probably my strongest point, but I don't use it all the time. So it just all depends on the fight, I guess.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll get some of my. You've had some problems in the past making weight. What was those? Did you ever figure out what the problems was, and how have you fixed it?
The only time I missed weight was in Florida. I mean, I missed my flight. I learned not to miss my flight. Other than that, I've been on it. My nutritionist, perfecting athletes to the best in the game, and they get me down to weight. So other than that, I mean, the only thing I've learned from it is not to miss our flights.
Yeah. What do you feel like the hardest part of weight cutting is, and what is like your normal weight cutting like routines?
Every camp is different. Just depends how heavy I am. So in a lot of fights, I've only had 3 camps in the UFC. My very first fight, the Sergio Pettis fight, and I got injured, and then this fight. So I've only had 3 full camps. Everything else has been short notice within 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it just all depends on short notice or not. Obviously, I get 8 weeks, a longer span. So I start my diet like probably like six weeks out and gets me down. Obviously, if I take a short notice fight, it's kind of harder to like, oh, you get this much time. So it just all depends on the fight, and when I get it, short notice or full camp.
What's the shortest notice you've had for a fight?
I think 3 weeks. I think I took the Eric Shelton 3 weeks. Shorty Torres about 3 weeks. De La Rosa was about 4 weeks. Yeah, the only camps I've had were the first one and this one. And Benavidez was 3 weeks.
Yep. Whenever you do get that title shot, who do you feel like will be the champion then?
It's hard to say, man, because our division's like I said, up in the air, and I don't feel like there's one guy that's that much better than everybody. Like where it was like Henry Cejudo was the best, he was destroying everybody. It's kind of hard to say. I'm hoping it's Benavidez, so when I beat him, I get that rematch and I get the title. But to me, it doesn't matter. I'm really not worried about that part yet.
Speaking of Cejudo, where do you think is like, because he's saying he's the king of cringe and stuff. When do you feel like that cringe stuff started? And how do you feel about it?
To me, it doesn't matter. I can really care what he says. He just started being himself, and he's a quirky guy. That's cool, Can't hate him for that. He's a champion. You can't really talk too much about him. I mean, he's right. He had 2 titles in the UFC and Olympic gold medalist. It's annoying to hear over and over again, but he has a right to brag. He has all the hype behind him,
Yeah. How do you feel like he's like kind of like ducking maybe some 135ers by taking an Aldo fight, or do you feel like he just wants Jose Aldo for his resume?
I think he just wants it for his resume. I mean, he's still young. It's not like he's gonna retire after that fight. So if he is ducking someone, he's gonna eventually have to fight him. It doesn't matter. If he beats Aldo, he's gonna have to fight him. Even if he doesn't beat Aldo, if he loses, he's still gonna have to fight those guys to get a title shot. So I mean, I think he just wants it on his resume.
Yeah. And you fought at 125 and 35. Which one do you feel better at, and which one do you feel like you could succeed more at?
I feel good at both weights. Like 35s, they get to eat a lot more, like a lot more Korean barbecue, during camp and stuff. 25s, obviously, I got to be strict on my diet, super strict and stuff like that. To me, it was like they gave me a choice to move up to 35s because I fought there, and I was like, I'm going back down. They're like, really? I was like, well, I'm already ranked, and it's a shorter line to get a title shot. So I feel like sacrificing now to get that title shot would be way better than having to work all the way up. Like, not saying it's impossible, but man, just those 35ers in there, like the guys aren't even ranked. Guys that are ranked, it's kind of just a long road ahead where I already kind of have the shortcut in.
Yeah. Speaking of like flyweights and stuff like that, do you feel like DJ might ever come back to the UFC?
Nah, I think he was unhappy the way they were promoting him, maybe the way he was getting paid and stuff. And why come back? He has nothing left to prove. He's beat Benavidez twice. He hasn't fought Jasur. He hasn't fought a couple guys, but I mean, I think he'll do fine if he came back, but I don't see a point for him to come back.
Yeah. Who was like your MMA inspiration growing up or whenever you started your MMA career?
Man, I started watching Jose Aldo, Jasur, Flamingo. I trained with that guy a little bit when they came down to find out Taji Palace. Obviously, Anderson Silva was the man back in the day. Those guys I kind of watched. I mean, I don't see him. And Frankie Edgar, those are the guys I watched, even still watch to this day. Those are the part of the guys I watch a lot.
Yeah. Well, if when TJ Dillashaw comes back, if he decided for some reason to go to 125, do you think it would be like repeat performance of Cejudo, the fight, or do you feel like he might be able to pull together something?
Man, I think he'll be able to pull something. Like he's a good fighter. I feel like he's got clipped in the back of the head, man. If no one's ever been hit in the back of the head, it kind of throws you off. It throws your whole body out of whack for a bit. So I don't think I thought it was an early stoppage when they fought. But I think if he comes back down to 25s, I think he'll be fine. Makes 25-pounders more excited.
Yeah. Who would be like, if you could pick any fighter from any time, who would be the one person you would love to like stand across the octagon with?
Anderson Silva back in the day. Not right now, but back in the day, that guy would be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a crazy ass fight. So what's your 2020 plans for fighting?
Man, to stay active. My first year in the UFC, I took 3-4 fights in a year, and then last year I was sidelined with injury, but this year I'm hoping to get 3 fights in. 3 fights in, climb the rankings.
How many fights left do you have on your contract?
I believe I think I have 1 more. So either I'm gonna renew or they're gonna let me fight it out and then renew me after that. But usually they do it like if they'll usually renew when it's close to it. So whatever they want, don't matter to me.
Yeah. How many fights would you like to take in 2020?
I already have 1, so hopefully 2 more, 2 or 3 more. I'm always in the gym, always ready, always in shape. So for opportunities that come up, so hopefully 2 to 3 more.
If Askar doesn't accept, or if the fight just doesn't work out somehow, who else would you like to fight?
Man, honestly, there's like Matt Chanel. I would like to fight him. I would like to fight Kyra Friend. I would like to fight all those guys that are ranked above me, whatever it is. To me, it doesn't really matter, honestly. I'm in it to fight. So, like I said, ranked opponent or not, short notice, full camp, it doesn't matter to me. I'll fight. Eventually, I'm gonna have to fight everybody. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Well, before I let you go, you care if I get some predictions from you?
Yeah, I'm down.
How you like her? Who do you like in Tony Habib?
Oh man, that one's hard. That one, I gotta go with Khabib because he's undefeated. But man, Tony's the guy that could beat him. Tony and I think Gaethje are the guys that can beat him.
What about Jones and Reyes coming up this Saturday?
I gotta go with Jones, man. That's the easy one.
Yeah, it's hard not to go with Jones. And then the same card, you got Valentina and Caitlin Chukagan. How do you like that?
I got Valentina, man. She's good. She's actually really good off her back. She's an amazing striker, so I got that too.
All right, one more, and then I'll let you go. And that's Israel Adesanya and Joel Romero.
Oh man, that one we were actually talking about that one yesterday. Man, I gotta go with one of my friends trains Izzy. I gotta go with Izzy, but Uriel, man, he hits you sometimes and you go down, but he does gas out. So I gotta go with Izzy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against Izzy or John right now. So, I mean.
Yeah, they're both on a tear. Izzy's just proving everybody wrong. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and talking to me and stuff like that. We'll have to do it again sometime when you get some fight news or something.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. Have a good day.
You too, man.
All right.
Thanks.